the hell?
Yeah, so we were talking about the snapback before, how it's legendary, but now I wanna ask a question. Like, what do you guys think about that Nike thing? How they kicking out people without the vaccinated thing?
Pretty controversial. You know, it's not just Nike, right? It's like a bunch of industries. I think it started in New York State. It was the big one. They were doing it with healthcare workers, right? They were telling healthcare, you can't come back. But now it's opposite, right? Now they're letting people come back who have
And
COVID. And you don't even, you can have, as long as you don't have symptoms, which makes no sense, because you can still spread it. You can have it. I don't know my facts. I try to stay away from the media, so I might not be the best one. But like the staffing is such a problem now. And I think it's happening in schools. It's happening everywhere. It's kind of like, we got to let this go a little bit. I know this variant is supposed to be a little less dangerous, but like, I don't know, my daughter came down with a fever and she has health issues, so she could have a fever for a lot of reasons. But she had one last night and we got her tested right away and it was negative. It's fine. There's something else going on with her, but still scary. I mean, but Nike, I mean, I don't know. It might be excuse to do something else. What I actually think it is it's to reduce absenteeism.
Workers.
So whether it's going to work or not, but I think we know everyone, you know, now you have a cold. I got like this really bad cold. I got tested like 3 times. You could still probably hear it in my voice. Worst cold I've had in years because I've been washing my hands for the last 3 years and wearing a mask, right? So immunity's down. So I think Nike's doing it to reduce absenteeism. It doesn't really make sense that, you know, because I don't think it makes sense, but that's the only reason I could think of it, right? I mean, America in particular, they're as casual about COVID as any country, I think.
And a big company as well, right? I mean, if you're a big company like that, you can work something out to get around it.
Also could be like a legal issue, maybe. Maybe they're trying to protect their asses if people want to like I don't my opinion doesn't matter. I think it's just maybe that might be it. Like they're trying to prevent people. I mean, maybe these people on their payroll have really good health coverage and they don't want them to get sick and they're trying to save money.
That's a good one.
I'm sure it always has to do with money, whether it's absenteeism or healthcare, something to do with money, you'd bet.
And that's where I'm thinking about it now. If the stats are saying that a majority of people are vaccinated, you can't walk around without hearing people talking about the vaccine and being vaccinated. A lot of people wear it as a badge. They're proud and they say, I'm vaccinated. So I was listening to the 30 for 30 podcast the other day, and the episode that I was listening to was talking about how the NBA stood up for the world in shutting down the league and showed responsibility and set an example for the world, saying that we're not going to play. This is bigger than basketball. We need to look after the well-being of the nation and of the well-being of the citizens. I don't want to sound cynical, but part of me feels that is, like John said, it's about money. I think that that's a business ploy. They got a lot of coverage. Every other league shut down. And what was every headline? Oh, the NBA shut down. So now the NHL is shutting down. Now the NFL is shutting down. And it all will boil back to who did it first. Now, Nike was the first sneaker company to make this announcement. And if you think about it, if the facts are true, and they are, obviously, that a majority of people are vaccinated, a majority of people are for the vaccination, then they've just maybe look more favorable to a majority of consumers. And quite possibly it could be as simple as, you know, a business ploy to look good and to be, you know, set an example and be a leader in the industry and win, you know, money votes in a sense. Where, you know, I wouldn't hold it past them, because this happens across the board. all these big box stores were the first to shut down and to say, no, we're going to support the government. We're going to close our doors.
Exactly.
And the mom and pop shops and the small businesses, they're the ones who are really hurting from this. So, and they're technically the ones who are the competition, and, support local, all small communities. And, in certain parts of our country, I mean, it should be everywhere, but buy local is a proud statement, and it's a staple in some communities. I mean, we support a lot of our buddies who own businesses and have shops for that very reason, right? They're entrepreneurs, you respect their hustle, and you want to help them succeed. These companies are not necessarily taking a big chunk from Nike, but it's I can't help but think, and I don't want to come off the wrong way, but I can't help but think that there's a money reason for the decision. Now, granted, they say that there's not many people that aren't vaccinated. So what was the point of a press release on this scale? Like,
well, that was the crazy part, because I didn't see a press release. I saw like one of those, we see on Instagram, you see like a headline, it's like breaking, and it's like somebody said this, and you don't know who it is. And it said like 15,000 or 20,000. It was like a huge number. And then I Googled quickly how many employees Nike has at Beaverton, and I think the article said, maybe, you never know when one of these
it hyped.
Yeah, they may be getting the facts wrong, but I believe that it's happening. But in terms of the numbers, like even in the least vaccinated states, I think it's like 60% or something. So it's hard to imagine a company like Nike, who's been probably telling these guys to do this for months, if not a year, would have like so many thousands of people. So I think there's a fact check needed. I'm sure they're doing it, but it could just be like 20% of their staff, or I find it hard to believe it's tens of thousands of people. Maybe they're talking about the whole country. I thought the report was in Oregon, even at headquarters. I thought that was the story. 15,000 people at headquarters. I don't think either way. I think we always have to think about the PR side, the public, what they want the media to think about it. I mean, remember when they had to shut down and they were making masks, and Nike was making masks for doctors and stuff like that. I never saw a Nike mask made for a doctor. I mean, not to say they didn't do it, but I mean, I never saw a New Balance mask for a doctor. I bought some of them. I was rocking a New Balance mask, but like, maybe they produced thousands, maybe they saved the day, or maybe they didn't make as many as maybe
just handed out.
I'm not really a skeptic. I'm not really a skeptic or conspiracy theorist, but yeah, you have to look at all these things, especially these Instagram reports, right?
Yeah, all the social media, like some of them, most of them, they lie just to get actually on things, to be on top of the news.
But I mean, it's a serious issue and a valid thing, like what corporations are doing in terms of these vaccine mandates and stuff, like
especially for a big brand.
Now it's boosters. Like, are you getting your third booster? Are you getting your fourth booster? It's like in Quebec, neighboring province of Ontario, they're actually taxing people who don't get their vaccines. And with the whole Novak Djokovic thing in Australia, that sounds like an Australian type of thing, because everyone knows how tough it is to get in Australia. You can't bring your dog in. You can't get citizenship. I have friends who moved there years ago, 15 years ago. They're just getting citizenship now. So like Australia, I understand why geographically, in terms of the protecting the native species and populations of plants, like all that stuff. But the sort of hard hand of government, you're seeing it now in some places, and like people, I'm in Quebec next door to us, I'm surprised people, they have a lockdown, they have a kind of like in Australia, they have like a curfew, and I'm surprised that people aren't going crazy yet. Like I'm a little scared, like see what happens there. let it happen. They're kind of in their own
it's sad because it feels like that you're being under control or something. You can't you can't actually get a way around it. But for me, I just make myself happy, and keep it going, Just go forward.
Yeah. I think during the pandemic, I think that's what hopefully everyone's learned it. I mean, being selfish is one thing, but keep taking care of your own and your family.
Yeah.
I mean, for me at least, I've realized the importance of, you gotta be in these times, you gotta look out for friends, you gotta reach out, you
Yeah.
gotta talk to people and stuff. Everyone has time for that, but you really have to think about like, hey, can my kids handle this? Like, can my kids handle going to school all day with the mask on, or can they handle just being in certain situations? And it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy for adults. It's not easy for anyone. I mean,
and then them not being able to go anywhere and do it, and then
no freedom,
friends,
no freedom. Yeah.
And then so like, I don't know how it is there, but like Halloween, for instance, the kids can't wear costumes to school anymore here. Well, my kids can't. Like, that's the new norm, that, like, okay, we don't want to offend everybody. It's Black and Orange Day now. Well, I don't want them to grow up with not trying to limit contact with other people and small, like wearing a mask and like, oh, we're not going to do that. We don't, like, man, like I'm scared for the kids that way, their mental health, their, how long have they been sitting at home? And I, as much as we try to limit screen time has probably gone up across everybody, not just kids, adults. And
I mean, look at us.
And that's been a resolution of mine, is to limit how much time I spend. And I'm grateful for having buddies like John, because John has aired this before about taking a break and when you and that's the beauty of talking to people, because I'm like, what, it's to hear it come out, and then I think about it myself, and it is right, and it is true, and that's why we still need to connect. I think that the pandemic has separated a lot of people and made us kind of stuck in our own minds and our own lanes. And you're at home and you're maybe you're worrying about things a little bit more, or you've got more time to see your problems, not the good. We're out doing stuff, we get distracted, we worry about our job, we worry about our our situations, our daily situations. But when you go home and you go to work and you come home and you're in your bubble, I think that's important, is to, like, we do need to self-reflect, and we do need to look and it is easy to get sucked in to the TV or to your phone or whatever. But I think that, we're being tested, mankind's being tested. And you could choose to lay down, take your CERB money or your government provided check, sit at home and think, well, what else do I got to do? I'll go on a Netflix binge for 6 hours, 7 hours straight, or be a better human, challenge yourself to do something, and stick to your routine, because I feel like this pandemic has broken our routine as humans, and we need to be reminded of that. Like I said, talk to friends and even, I could say I've wasted my time on Instagram and chatting on the phone, but I've also benefited from that in ways too, where I'm connecting with people and I'm, doing new things. Like I've been doing a lot of, stuff on my computer, designing stuff, like John and I have been getting into the hats and stuff, but we've also been getting creative with it. We're trying our own, doing, we're trying to, find a new interest and put ourselves into it in different ways. And I think that's important. If anything can be taken from this, and I I hate saying it when things go back to normal, because I feel like I'm lying to myself, but when the bell rings, you don't want to be at the bottom working your way back up. You want to be, if not or a little bit ahead. And it's not hard to challenge yourself to do something like that. And I've said this last time we were on together, Doc, we need to be good to each other. We need to communicate, and don't flick through Instagram liking posts and chirping things you don't like and being that troll in the comments. Like, throw a kind word out to somebody, start up a conversation, shoot your shot. Like, I constantly message pages and people, not expect response, but you get a response and you engage and you learn a little something from it. So, you know, at the end of the day, with you could choose to look at all the bad that's happened. I prefer right now to try to focus on the things that I've gained from this. And, you know,
yeah,
me too.
Maybe we're not better off than we were before it all started, but it's been so long now, who knows? So make your reality, your now, you know, count. So
yeah,
exactly right.
Totally, a lot of opportunities, a lot of creatives. People started brands during the pandemic. People started channels. I started my podcast. There you go. Ooh, I don't think we knew each other, Andy, and we wouldn't be doing this probably, right? I mean,
yes, exactly.
like we wouldn't be here. You know, whether it's in the summer where I know you're in a different summer, but you know, where we were here, where things were kind of open, and you guys had a period where things were chill and it was open. I mean, I was still doing my podcast. People were still doing things because it was the new reality, right? And and I don't think a lot of that won't change. A lot of that will stay where it is, and I think that's a good thing. And yeah, there's a lot of challenges. Andy said it well. Like, we're being tested, and you know, it could be worse. It could always be worse. So
yeah,
you know, maybe we count our blessings and learn from it, and the kids learn something about life and the hustling story. And hopefully they don't have to deal with this much longer, but you know, we're all getting stronger hopefully for it.
Your banger sneaker collection now, that's what you look at, all those shoes you copped. And
I'm going the other way, hopefully, other way.
Yeah, well, you know, like,
no, I know
got a lot. We maybe spend a whole ton of dough, but now we could share, and they're fluid assets. You could sell them and make your money back.
Exactly.
Put up a post and sell it. I mean, I've been having a blast with it, man. I'm customizing shoes. Let me bring it back to sneakers. I bought a pair of Kraft Air Force Ones off of on a clearance, and I dip dyed them. Just
nice.
These purple. These were white Air Forces. So challenging myself to do different things, and that's the things that I hope carry on once the doors are open everywhere again.
Yeah, or you can just make yourself occupied anyway, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we all come up with new things anyway. Like you know, example of you two, you know, you guys will always have ideas, brand new ideas every day, you know what I mean? With the hats that you guys doing, you know, with the community ways. You know, I even myself have all these ideas coming to you know, to do things. You know, it's just to get that connection with other people to be able to do it. You know what I mean? That's the hardest part.
Damn it. And I'll praise you again, bro, that what you do and how you bring people together. I'm sure there's a lot of people that tune into your lives and watch your feed and are so excited when they get a reshare on your page from a picture they took. That's what matters at the end of the day. You're bettering somebody's life, or you're giving them something that brings them joy, and that's what I appreciate about what you do.
Well, you know, for me, like it wouldn't be no Lacekickz without all you guys anyway from start. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be there without you guys. So it was you guys that.
You had to start it. Don't be deflecting this compliment, okay?
Yeah, you got to do the work. I mean, it doesn't continue, right? There's always a person behind it, and you know what Andy's talking about, and I think we all know that. You know, even in tough times, it's the small things. Sometimes it's reaching out. You know, Andy and I talk on the phone. I don't talk to people I've known for decades on the phone, like people that say are my oldest friends in life. People don't talk on the phone anymore. Like, that doesn't happen. I don't talk to my wife on the phone. Like, they just don't. It's FaceTime with the kids, or it's text, and it's like no, Andy and I don't talk on the phone for an hour, and it's like my kids probably looking at me like, Dad, you know how to use a phone? Like, it's like, but it all started with something, and it was sneakers and now hats, and you know, we do design. We're working on projects and stuff like that, but you know, it fortunately expands to something bigger than that, real friendships that, you know, there's a saying that's, you know, sneaker friends are the best friends. I don't know if that's true, but it certainly does apply sometimes, because, you know, find someone's looking out for you to get a sneaker. That's not going to save your life.
Yes.
But because you talk to some of these people so often on Instagram, mostly on Instagram, and, you know, there's this constant interaction because we're all addicted to Instagram, and we're addicted to sneakers, and we're addicted to whatever, then then something else happens, right? Often. And it's a beautiful thing, because you know, people lose touch and with their old friends, and they don't have time, they have families, they have jobs and whatever. And you're on social media and you're like, damn, this guy's my real friend now. Like, and I tell my wife that all the time. She's like, oh, you're actually hanging out with this guy? It's like, yeah, I went to meet Andy in a parking lot. We were exchanging. I don't even know him. Like, it's the first time we met. We hung out 45 minutes in the parking lot. We're standing in the cold talking, and it's like, my wife's like, where did you go? I was like, oh, I was buying a hoodie from this guy Andrew. And she's like, what the hell are you doing out there? Like, that's what we do. That's how friends operate.
Yeah.
Now, like, that's how it is.
You look at sports, man. Like, sports in the grand scheme doesn't mean anything. You know, like, it doesn't better the world. It gives people joy to watch. But, like, when you're on a team, you know, your teammates, you create a bond with people when you have a common goal. And that a lot of people that play sports, they say that, you know, when they get older, they're like, oh man, the times that I shared, you know, the friends that I've made, the strongest bonds are from when you connect with people and you share common interests and you work together, you know,
as a team.
Something. Or, and I find the same thing with sneakers and now with the hack community as well, is that, you know, you all have common interests. You don't, you know, you're brought together randomly. You may be good, you know, good at something or just happen to be there, but you all come together in the same place and you have a common goal and you work together towards it. And then that's where the bonds are made. And they, you know, it's different, man. It's different. It's hard to explain. It's like anything in life. When you share an interest and you're working together with it, everything else floats away. And there is no, you know, bad.
Yeah.
Got bumpy road, but it's so minuscule in the grand scheme, because you know, you lose games in the season, but you remember the, you know, oh man, remember when this happened during it?
The good time.
Always outweighs the bad. So
yeah, it's part of the memories.
You know, that's the beauty.
Yeah, and you know how long it takes to do a design, Andy, and we know how long it takes to edit audio like this or video, right? It's like you spend 2 hours or whatever we're doing recording. That's one night, and then you do another night editing it, and then you get feedback from all these sneaker friends, right? And then my best friend from, say, high school knows I do a podcast. Is he listening to my podcast? Maybe he listened to the first one. Maybe he listened when my son was on. Maybe he listened with my wife. But he's not listening every week. So it's a huge part of my life. Something I pour myself into. I love it. It's now it's a hobby. It's not my job, but it's a big part of my life. For good or bad, I think good.
Yeah.
And I have sneaker friends, if you want to call them that, who talk to me about it, who are into it, who support me, who give me feedback. And then I have other friends who they're still friends. But like, what's
not into it?
With them? It's like, how the kids, what's happening with school? Are we going to hang out? Yeah, I'll see you in 3 months. We're too busy, you know. I'll see you when we're allowed to see each other. Let's schedule it. Oh no, my kids got hockey. Oh, my kids got basketball. Oh, okay. And then it's like, Andy, you got a hat? You picked up a hat for me? Okay, we're meeting up. Let's go. Like, there's no, it's easy to find time.
No amusement park or going camp, but it's still like you're still bonding and connecting, and you know all that time adds up. Right. So
yeah, we'll end up talking about our families and our lives and what's happening with their kids. And that's not how it started. That's not why we got together. So it's a different kind of relationship, but you know,
it's the passion. It's the same passion. Yeah. Sharing the passion, same thing, and you guys just clicked. And I was gonna ask you guys, what do you guys have for the upcoming snapback that you guys have? Do you guys want to give us a sneak peek?
So fitteds,
Yeah.
we don't have anything. I wish we could show you what we have. We're trying. It's hard. We're doing. Andy helped me out with some pins. So I got some pins coming. Everything else is sort of in a holding pattern. Is that fair to say, Andy?
Yeah, there's that really can't be spoken on until they're concrete. But
I have one hat I could show him that Andy actually helped me design. Let's see if I can find a mock-up. But yeah, everything is sort of just, things are going slow now, unfortunately.
I do have a bit of merch on my website, greatones.com. And I've been kind of in the same holding pattern where I had a drop. The hoodies sold out in a day. I still have a few up. I still have the snapbacks that I showed you earlier. I still have a few of these guys still kicking around, but I have plans for more stuff in the works. It's just same deal. We're waiting on product to come in, everything opening back up again. John's got 2 pins on the go ordered. They'll probably be landing, which we work together on for Sneaker Dads. If you guys are out there as well, you're a fan of what Dr. Lacekickz is doing, you got to check out Sneaker Dads. If you're a parent and sneakers, the bond that you can share with your kids through sneakers, and that's where I put the blame on, is I started buying kicks for my kids because of John's podcast, and I saw the fun in them and put it all, because it was inevitable. I remember the day that I convinced my wife to buy our kids nice shoes for school because the teacher called and said that they're blowing through their Walmart runners and we needed to bring them a new pair. I'm like, just let me buy them a good. And, I remember I sent John a picture of my son, and he's wearing his Air Max 90 Griffies, and he's crunched the heel of. He stepped on him and it was folded over. And I said, "Oh man, I'm failing as a sneaker guy." And he says, "Nobody holds that much power." So it's like, it's funny.
You can't really tell the kids how they can look after their shoes.
No. I have to say though, Andy's right, but I have to say Sneaker Dads, the platform and the podcast, is not only for dads. I've had plenty of guests that aren't parents. I've had moms. I've had just single females that so I've had to, and I like to expand it. I think I could show them the next one. Hey, Andy, can I show them the next one? Should be here any day. Andy designed this one. The colors may not come off too much. Oh, wait a sec. There you go.
Yes.
So
nice.
it's, what is that? It's
So
a different color though. It's not that. It's maroon. So it's
maroon.
More like.
Yeah.
So it would be more like trim on this.
Yeah.
So it's the full hat like this, but then it has the icy.
Icy.
Yeah.
No? Isn't this what we modeled it after, the Phillies? No, this is the same as you're wearing. Anyway, it should be here. The fine folks at New Era tell me it is due. It was supposed to come November 8th. No hate on them. It's not their fault.
Oh, it's this one.
Yeah.
It's maroon. Sorry, go ahead.
With this Philly colored.
So you guys getting them done in New Era?
Yeah, they're official New Era. So New Era is making them, and they're making them in a factory. So the difference, Andy can explain it different, right? But so this hat from our friend at Parlor 23 is a shop in Toronto. So this is a New Era hat, a Pirates hat that got embroidered after the fact. So it was customized. I don't know where, but there's a difference. Not that there's anything wrong with this. This is an amazing hat. But when you do it through New Era, they'll take your hat like Andy's got right there.
Yeah,
and so the embroidery.
You can see the image on the back of this. This was an application, so it was sewn on after the fact. But if you grab a New Era hat,
that's not there.
You can't. Yeah, because they sew it on the quill, and then they put the panels on. But when you get a New Era, it's all made. They can make the logos bigger. they come out a lot cleaner, because when they do it secondary, they have to go through that hard plastic that's on a hat.
Oh yeah.
So they get a lot more detail in.
So that
it's a-
hat Andy's wearing, the one that New Era did for me, they actually do the embroidery, right, Andy, before the hat is constructed in a way. So they can, so they can do the embroidery flat
a lot
and
easier.
they don't have to, like, so this is really hard. You have to put this in a machine and you can't take the hat apart. And now they did an amazing job with these. I love these hats that Power 23. We love Power 23. We rep Power 23 hard. It's the local local shop in Toronto. But yeah, to get a hat through New Era, if they wanted to do that, I mean, I'm sure they could, but it takes, I mean,
a while.
I think it's been eight months, but that's a backlog because of factories and stuff.
Before we run out of time, I was gonna ask, do you guys have any message out there for the youth, or for the for the people that's going through hard times at the moment?
Oof. Stay positive, everybody. It's never as bad as it seems. So, and like we've said on this episode a few times, you know, all it takes is a compliment to somebody, or a conversation, a common bond, and you'll realize that you're alone. There's a lot of people that love sneakers just as much as you and are willing to chat about them and not just buy them. You know, and like we said, you share a common bond with somebody, and it's there's a wholesome feeling about it, right? Just to chat about sneakers and whatever your interests are. It's never you're never alone. Times are sure.
Nick Engvall always says, tell someone you like their sneakers today. And along the lines of what Andy said, you know, I don't think it has to be sneakers. It can be, you know, I think with COVID, people have really put up walls. You know, you're wearing a mask, your interaction with strangers is pretty limited. And a lot of people are uptight in the parking lot. It's like, get out of my space. It's like everyone's really way more uptight, and there's a little less love. And I think the love and the small things go a lot further. And as far as the young people, especially the sneaker community, you know, it's really hard not to get, I mean, think about us. We're adults, we're supposed to be mature, and we're supposed to be able to see through it all, and we get caught up in the hype, and we want things that we don't need, and we're spending, imagine what a kid, a high
new
school
generation,
or you know, a young person, imagine the pressure they're feeling, and imagine what they're going through. So I think, you know, it's always buy what you like, not what someone else likes. That's the advice. And just be yourself and find your lane, and you know, try and be creative and do something positive that makes you feel good. And you know, maybe don't ignore your parents, but just do something, make sure you're happy. You know, you're not trying to prove to each other. I mean, a lot of people schools are shut down, and people, you know, going to college and stuff, you know, you're online and you're paying all this money, and it's tough. So, you know, look after yourself and take a break and breathe and reach out. I always tell people to reach out to their friends, and just, you know, people call out for it sometimes on Instagram. You can even see it. They're reaching out for someone. And if you don't see someone, that's a reach out too. So
yes, and everyone else, feel free to come reach us out, us three. And I gotta say, before
you want to ACOM1s on Instagram, hit me up if you want to chat, or you got to get something off your chest.
Yes, that's it.
Well, wear everything. Hashtag wear everything. John?
You got it.
Before I stop the recording, I just want to say thank you both, and we're gonna set another session for the next one.
Cool.
And we're just gonna keep going. It's a
lot of fun.
Thank you guys, and send my love to the family. Yeah, you guys stay safe.
Thank you. Keep up the great work. Love what you're doing.
And same as you guys.
Thanks.
Keep going, guys. All right, guys. I'll catch up on the next episode.
Cool.
And much love. I want to give a shout out to all the people there in Canada. Much love, guys.
All right. Nice.
Same to you.
For sure.
Love. Yeah. Hope everyone's doing well. Keep your head up.
All right, guys. See you guys.
Take care.
Good night, morning, good
All right.
afternoon.
Later.